Hello once again and welcome back to another episode of Movie Deputy Reviews, where we are on day 4 of our 12 days of Christmas, and today we are talking about the Grinch. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, you've been talking about the Grinch for 2 days already. Yes, I have, but there are 3 Grinch movies. The one that came out, the original in 1966, Boris Karloff, Dr. Seuss, original classic, and then we have the live action one that came out in 2000. And then what a lot of people don't realize is we got another animated movie version of the Grinch in 2018. I wasn't sure on the year yesterday, so I looked it up just to make sure that I had that correct on that. But yep, this animated one came out in 2018, and this one has Benedict Cumberbatch as the Grinch. Now you're thinking, wait a minute, but it's better than you'd think. It really is. I mean, I went into this very skeptical, and I try not to take a bunch of the whole thoughts of that into that whole mindset when I go into it. But because it's such an iconic story, it's hard not to. It's really hard not to. But before we get into the original written review on this, I want to share with you clue number 4. Again, I'm hoping that you're keeping track of these. And of course, I'm not going to make it too easy, but I'm not going to make it too difficult for you either. Today's clue is a little bit more complex. Today's clue is a visit from St. Nicholas. Now, nothing more, nothing less, just a visit from St. Nicholas is today's clue. So again, I'm hoping you're keeping track of those, so it's going to really be important if you want to have a chance at the special prize on Christmas. Now, obviously, I won't be able to get the prize to you on Christmas, but I will be announcing how many winners that we have, and I will be contacting each of you directly on Christmas to say congratulations, because all of those will have to be submitted the evening of Christmas Eve, the night of Santa's Magic Ride. So let's get into the original review. Oh, I probably should tell you the score I gave the Grinch 2018. That might help. As always, it's innocent as we're doing our 12 days of Christmas. I would not even think of doing a movie that was not safe for children as our 12 days of Christmas here, as we are talking about one of the most magical times of the year. But with the Grinch in 2018, I gave it a 6.5 out of 10 on the Deputy scale. So a little higher than the one in 2000, but obviously not quite as high as the original 1966 classic. But let me share with you the review, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more. Dr. Seuss had an imagination that he wanted to share with the world. One of the most famous stories is that of the Grinch, a green creature that hates everything about Christmas. This adventure has been told countless times in print, television, and even movie form. Some have used some creative license to expand on the original Dr. Seuss idea, yet they have all stayed true to the meaning of the story. So you may ask yourself, how does this one stand out? Well, not since Boris Karloff has the character of the Grinch come to life quite like this. Though it strays a bit from the original story, it makes up for it with heart. Fans of the original will once again find themselves transported to Whoville for a Christmas adventure, one that will once again remind the viewer that Christmas is about much more than it seems on the surface. Come and experience it, and you'll be experiencing it again for the first time. There's just some magic to this one. Like I said, it strays a little bit from the original story, but it does so in such a way that will just make your heart grow 3 sizes, like the Grinch's did in the original story. And there is just something magical about that. So it's just, like I said, it's not exactly the story that you might expect. I mean, we get a little bit updated music. It's all animated. We get to see the characters and from a slightly different perspective, but it's wholesome, it's sweet, and it's just, it's a classic. I mean, these stories they're destined to be classics when you are dealing with a character like the Grinch, and you're honoring that story by retelling it in ways that do the story justice, not in like parody ways or things like that. So being able to experience these and share these with you there's just something magical about that. I hope if you haven't done so already that you know which buttons to push to always get the latest and greatest Movie Deputy content, and that so you don't miss out on a single day out of our 12 days of Christmas on here. Now you may be wondering what movie we're talking about tomorrow. Well, you're going to have to come back and find out, because Santa may have a lot of tricks up his sleeve, but so do I. So until then, I will be back soon. Bye-bye.